back to clock back in. Time to do it some more. Myles Garrett, he was talking about things on Friday. It's interesting what Myles had to say, and I had this idea, but let's hear Myles about this whole ordeal.
No, committed to winning, and no 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 committed to winning.
It's not a bit.
That's not a bit. That's an accident.
I thought at first it was.
I'm just gonna let it go now.
I'm like, Diabolical Owen is back, showing off his craft.
This is the best mix-up ever. It's the equivalent of playing porn by accident on the news. That was great. All right, so Myles Garrett is committed to winning over and over and over again. And
seriously, it's in queue in my ear and it won't stop. I'll figure it out.
Myles said he's committed to winning, and
he said he's not interested in a rebuild.
Not interested in a rebuild.
And then Andrew Berry was asked about that yesterday.
Let's see what he has to say.
By Mary Kay, and let's see if he repeats it.
Myles and I have good and frequent dialogue. I think when people hear the term rebuild, and probably specifically here, really their thought is tear down, right? The idea that you're trading away a number of prime players or veterans, and you're accumulating, resources and things of that nature. When we think about where we are in our transition, it really is about building up the offense. Many of the trades that we've made are, really about maybe players who won't be a part of the future core, and getting future value for when we're in our prime window with this roster.
Committed to winning, and no committed to winning.
It's still doing it.
No committed to winning.
All right, so he's not interested in any sort of rebuild. Mary Kay asked him about that, which, all right, I love her. I love her, but we are starting we're in the second Super Bowl window.
We're still in number 2.
While we're firing the coach, and we think that the future of the current general manager is tenuous at best. Anywho, he doesn't want to rebuild. Well, I'm sorry. Probably going to have to be part of a rebuild here, because I can't move your contract. I mean, they can move your contract, but there's a lot of things that have to match up, and it's probably not feasible in so many ways. So if you have Myles Garrett there, and it seems like, hey, buddy, you're probably going to finish your career here in Cleveland. Does his opinion matter, the next head coach, to you? I could say, should he have a seat at the table? No, I want to ask Browns fans. Does his opinion of who the next coach should be, should it matter to you? You said yes.
Well,
I think
here's
you're going
why.
to steal my thunder.
I just don't really feel like having a mopey Myles Garrett around and then revisiting what he did a year ago where he put the organization on blast. Even if I agreed with almost everything he said, you just don't really need that, during the Super Bowl week and making that one of the biggest stories in football. Like, I mean, I could see that happening again if this team doesn't do well.
So he's going to go out there and show his ass again on Radio Row. And
I do think, like,
we
Myles,
really can't trade him now, man.
I know. That's the hard part. I think he has strong opinions. That doesn't mean they're right opinions, but I do think he has earned it. If there's one thing that his greatness has done, I think you use the term seat at the table. It's not like I'm saying, all right, Myles, yes or no, and I'm listening to that entirely. Like, Myles is a smart dude. I don't think he is a binary guy. Like, I think he'll have feedback. He'll know against some of if it's an offensive coach, Myles has probably gone up against those offenses, and I'm sure he has thoughts on the scheme and what he's heard around the league.
Yeah.
Like, at least bring him in.
Let me put this by you. Now, I've said he's got way more money than I'm guessing than anybody listening, obviously anybody talking on the radio right now, right? But I've said he's basically got a lifetime contract now, and you've heard him say a lot of things that you will hear at Sloppy Bob's or at one of the bars that we might go to before the CSU game next Thursday. A lot of what the same Browns fans are thinking. I've compared him. I go, he's a Browns fan now. Like, he is Miles and Wadsworth calling in now on the fan. Like, that's what he's become. Do you think he has the same feelings? This is very speculative. Do you think he's got the same feelings of what we do, where I have very little trust in Andrew Berry to pick the right guy?
Ooh,
because
that's
let me ask you
a
this.
good question.
He what separates him, obviously, other than millions of dollars and that he's a physical freak and all these other things, he actually has some power to change this.
Yeah.
He actually does. I can rant and rave into the microphone. I can't fix any of this. I can only give you some decent
Even
ideas.
after you ran Baker out of town.
Yeah. Excuse me? I did what?
What?
You ran Baker out of town.
I have more power than Ken Carman?
Apparently you did.
Congratulations on all your success.
That's not going to play over and over again? Back to the nature. I think that it might be a good idea to not just ask Myles' opinion, even consult with him. Hear me out. Hear me out. I just explained to you he's more of a Browns fan than any other guy in that locker room because now he's here forever. You're here forever. But he also has power over this. Are we still looking for leadership? Do we think that he might have made strides this last season in leadership? They carried him off the field on Sunday, guys. Do we think that he made some strides in actual leadership? Like, guys, gather around, let's do this. This is going to be a struggle no matter what. Maybe we should have a guy with a great attitude who's our best player in franchise history on that side of the ball and arguably, probably a top 3 or 4 player ever in franchise history. Not number 1, but up there. Let's have that guy be motivated. Let's have that guy actually set the table for the next generation of Browns players like Carson Schlesinger, et cetera, et cetera. Let's have that guy actually bought in emotionally instead of just, I'm chasing a sack record. Let's see if we can do it. And if that were to be the way, if we don't have a lot of faith that it's going to go very well to begin with, I think we have one idea who we'd like to take a whirl with.
Well, and I know that, he hasn't had to be the leader before. It's not that he shouldn't have been the leader or whatever, contract-wise or player status-wise within the league and all that aside, right? But he kind of had to step up and be the leader this year of this team.
I thought I saw more.
They didn't have the veteran. He's the veteran presence now, right? He's the guy on the 3rd contract.
Yes.
It's his time to do it. And I thought he stepped up admirably in that. You did mention, though, having him involved in all of this. And this is the clip before we got that little repeat thing. Let's play this clip real quick, though. And he talked about his involvement in all of that going forward.
Committed to winning. And as long as the team and organization are doing so and they're committed to that same thing, then I'm all on board. But if we're thinking anything other than winning, tanking or rebuilding, that's not me.
All right, let me ask you, out of the guys that I had, and it's just my list, right? Who do you think he'd be most enthused by? Let me get the list out one more again. And again, Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak. Jesse Minter from the Chargers, young guy. Joe Brady, 36-year-old offensive coordinator of the Bills. Chris Shula, Rams DC, he's 39. Brian Flores, hard-ass, certifiable, former coach, 44 years old. Or Jim, current DC, guy he likes, 59 years old, former head coach.
Is Schwartz going to look better every single day as we get further into this?
Yeah.
And especially because fans aren't going to know.
You're looking for anybody you kind of sort of trust.
These young offensive minds are not considered Ben Johnson this time or even Liam Cohen this time around. So, which doesned mean, by the way.
Doesn't mean they can't be good coaches.
Can't be good.
You're right.
They might be good. But
you're right.
You could also bring, depending on how you feel about Tommy or somebody else over. I mean, that's all part of it. And it's been a long time. I said yesterday, I don't think his run in Detroit is going to hold him back this time around. It's been so many years. He's a different coach.
The one thing that held him back before, and we've touched on this before, was his health, right? And that's Vrabel actually got him back into coaching and just kind of got him in the building in Tennessee. His health was a real concern, 7 years ago, and he seems to have gotten that back on track. I don't know if that would dissuade him from wanting to take the head coaching job because of the stress that it puts on you as a head coach. But obviously he took the other franchise that's kind of laughing stock of the NFL, especially the last, this century, in Detroit, and put them in the playoffs with a young quarterback.
All right, let me ask you guys, 216-474-0092. You make a hell of a point. Should Myles... Does Myles' opinion matter to you? Not whether or not he should have a seat at the table. He's the cornerstone of the franchise. Does his opinion matter to you about the future head coach of the Cleveland Browns?